You start your journey, waking up in an unknown place. The residents of this world speak a different language that you will have to decipher to help you understand their intentions and avoid death. Explore a bloody apartment in ruins. Will you find a way back home, or will you find your way into the monster's heart? Homicipher is a horror adventure interactive visual novel game based on the concept of romancing with horror entities, made by Yatsunagi that also developed the game Magical Death Pair. It has high positive reviews on both of its available stores and recently has just surpassed 50,000 downloads in half a month. In this video, I will try my best to convince you to play this game that haunted my mind for weeks. And if you're interested in Homicipher at any point of the video, just get off YouTube and download the demo and give it a try, as I think the game is best enjoyed playing blind. I have divided this review into parts that you can skip to what you want to know about the game. I'll try to keep the spoilers to a minimum. With that said, let's begin. Game mechanic. One of the key points that make this game so unique is its language deciphering mechanic. You will start not knowing anything the character says, but you can click on the words and add your interpretation and change it anytime in the log or also in the dictionary menu. The main character will also give out translation hints at various parts of the game as well. It's the first time I've played the game with such features, but even so, I didn't find it extremely hard or frustrating. Instead, I really like this mechanic as it requires you to be always thinking and taking clues from the environment to get the context you need. Throughout the game, it was extremely fun to guess what the characters were saying based on their gestures and actions. It was also rewarding late game where I can start to understand the characters better, and it became easier to learn new words. One thing I don't like about a lot of horror games is how annoying and frustrating it can get when you lose your progress when you get a game over. Luckily, Homicipher is more forgiving, and if you get a bad ending, you'll be sent back to the scene before you choose the option. You don't have to save the game often and worry about losing progress, so you can just enjoy and immerse yourself in the game. Unfortunately, Homicipher does not have a skip functionality. The developer did try to implement it, but it was difficult because of the extra variables in this game that traditional visual novel doesn't have. But as I said, the scene autosaves often, so it wasn't too bad not being able to skip. There are 5 chapters plus 3 character-specific chapters and 34 endings. Some of the endings are quite short, and others are just a slight variation. From the start of my game to the end of my first ending, it took me like 4 hours. Then 9 hours to complete 70% of the game. And with the help of a guide, I finished the whole game and unlocked everything around 11 hours. This game isn't very long, but based on the amount of content and play hours, I say it was worth every cent. With the number of choices to make, it's clear that this game was made with replayability in mind. Based on what I have read online, it seems like it's not too difficult to unlock most of the scenes and endings on your own, but there might be a few endings that could be hard to find. And if you're stuck on how to fully complete the game, I recommend you to use the guide on Steam. Even when I had finished most of the endings, it was still a surprise, and it's really enjoyable to discover new scenes and locations. So it was never boring trying to 100% this game. Level of horror. I saw that many people are curious about this game, but were hesitant to give it a go because they aren't good with horror games. And that is reasonable. It's okay to dislike horror if it makes you uncomfortable. The purpose of games is to make the player happy. I'm not very good with horror games as well. I'm kind of a skittish person. But even so, I'll still recommend this game to people who might not play horror games often. If you're worried about the horror aspect, I'll share with you my experience playing Homicipher, and hopefully it can give you an idea of the tone of the game and maybe, convince you to play this game. First, one of the most renowned aspects of horror games are their jump scares. I like horror games, and compared to the other titles, the jump scares in Homicipher aren't very scary. But still effective on. There aren't many random jump scares that will appear out of nowhere. They mainly appear after you make a choice. So if you give more thought to what you click, then I think it'll be pretty easy to predict the jump scares. The default settings for the sound is quite loud, so I suggest adjusting it to this setting that I used. One thing I appreciate about this game is that the sound effects for the jump scares aren't crazy like Five Nights at Freddy's. Their jump scare sounds are short and sudden. There's no ear-deafening screams. The main character does gasp and yelp in high pitch, but it wasn't too bad. I also like the choices for the background music. The soundtrack mainly uses traditional instruments. A variety of background music are used to make you feel the right atmosphere for the specific scene. It makes you feel uneasy, but it isn't the type of music that gets repetitive, annoying, or over the board. There's no flashing lights or chaotic movements. A little glitch for some parts. And there is blood and gore, but it's not animated and not fully detailed. The art is consistent and immersive. This game is in first-person perspective, and the environments are detailed but not overwhelming. I love the variety of sprites. It never feels like the visuals are boring. The atmosphere of this game was definitely very scary for me, especially in the beginning. Because I just don't know who to trust. Like, will this ghost in front of me just kill me randomly? I don't know. And I don't know who or what will appear in the next room. If you're really bad with horror but still want to date these horror men, I suggest you to play this game on low volume. There are friendly characters that will teach, protect, and guide you. I feel like it will get better as you play it. When I was 2/3 in the game, I got familiar with the environment, so the atmosphere didn't scare me as much, and I also found myself to be relaxed at some parts of the game. There are many rooms in this game, so there'll still be new things that you encounter when you try to get different endings. But at that point, I already know enough words, and I was less on edge because I'm more confident which choices will lead to a jump scare. I'm not really good with horror. It makes me feel lonely and vulnerable. That's why I mainly watch Let's Plays. But in Homicipher, you'll be with one of the guys for at least 70% of the time, so I felt safe with them. Even though I got shocked by the scares and it was scary in the beginning, I came to love this game so much that I find it fun to be scared. I'll think to myself, why didn't I see that coming? And laugh at myself. So I hope you play the demo and maybe enjoy this game as well. Level of romance. What if I tell you this game isn't actually a romance game? Wait, don't leave just yet. Hear me out, okay? Homicipher is based on the concept of romance with horror man, yes, but the horror adventure aspect became the main focus of the game, and the the horror man became the added bonus. But why do I feel like this was still one of the most romantic games I've ever experienced so far? A wicked Cinderella learning to be kind during her journey with her beloved. An adventure where a cursed girl with a touch of death travels with a group of strange individuals to find her missing father. Secretly a real Cupid, a bridal advisor in the human world, tasked to help 5 men to get married. I've played a lot of romance games that were designed to make the players' hearts flutter. And in those romance games, we go on romantic dates, share secrets, solve mysteries, and even save the world together. So compared to Homicipher, how did this game of just finding a way back home in this creepy place with no dates, no handholding, no kissy moments feel so romantic? How did these fictional horror men become so endearing to me? After thinking about it for a while, these are the main reasons why a non-romance game became so romantic. Homicipher does not have a focus on the story. So because of that, we get to spend a lot of quality alone time with our love interest, compared to other games where we'll be busy with proceeding with the plot. In the game, there's no real reason why the characters will spend time with you, but yet they do. This game is a point and click with many choices, so you get to set the pace of the game, and the actions are initiated by you. And maybe that's the reason why this game feels more personal to many people. And that's why maybe I feel closer to the characters. What you think and what you do. Your experience in this game is unique and your very own. The writing of the protagonist's dialogue is simple and great. Her monologue is a perfect level of characterization and player stand-in. Homicipher gives us space where we're free to explore our emotions and thoughts, rather than having the main character dictating how we should feel. This is one of the many reasons why the atmosphere of this game is so good, because I'm alone with my thoughts and it's scary. Since the ghosts speak in a completely new language, the game is more expressive, I feel like. We have to observe the characters' actions with more thought. Something about learning another worldly language to understand each other feels so romantic. We're free to interpret what the characters' words mean, so they can either like you or they can love you. But yeah, if you like them, it will feel like they like you back too. Actions speak louder than words. Because this isn't a dialogue-heavy game, the actions of the characters are in the spotlight. There isn't a lot of traditional romance activities in Homicipher, but it makes sense considering that they aren't humans and their culture is different. And I feel like they do show affection, but in different love languages. Again, if this game interests you, please just get out of this video and check the demo. The game is more fun if you don't know much details about the characters, and if you can trust them or not. That being said, if you want to know if you enjoy the characters, I'll just briefly introduce their personality and their appeal points. We have 7 main characters, but I don't really consider Mr. Chop as a love interest. He's just too much of a baby. Too cute. He's the puppy character that I just want to protect. He's the sunshine in this dark world. Mr. Chop has the most adorable expressions and have squishy cheeks that I can't help but to poke at. Mr. Crawling. His position as best boy is not to be disputed. He's a kind-hearted man that can get a little sensitive regarding matters with the protagonist. A protective golden retriever who cares about you and is always on hands and knees for you. Mr. Crawling have delicate pretty feet and seductive... Sorry. Mr. Gap. I kinda hated him at first, but he kinda slipped through the gaps and found his way into my heart as well. He's quite funny, a prankster, and a man of his words, I guess? I don't know what appeal points Mr. Gap has. You can tell me, fans of Mr. Gap, you can tell me in the comments. Mr. Scarletta. A desperate fellow who wants nothing but to know you better. You can tell from his design, but a red flag character. He scares me. Mr. Scarletta is tall. Like, very tall. Very, very tall. He has large doe eyes and, I guess, great fashion sense. Mr. Machete. He likes to fight, and if you want his attention, you have to show him that you're up to his level. Kind of a tsundere who doesn't show his affections outwardly, but still cares about you when given the chance. His special chapter was really fun. Mr. Machete has straight white teeth, the pecs and muscles, and a huge sword. Yeah. Mr. Hood, the lone wolf, a cool character, aloof and a bit of a kudere, but he will help us if we just ask without question. He's kind and teaches us their language. His appeal points is that he has strong manly arms that makes me feel safe when he carries us. Mr. Silverhair. He's interested about the main character's body. I mean, he's a mysterious man that seems to be the most intelligent entity in the ghost world. Mr. Silverhair is very ikemen. The blindfold invokes my sense of curiosity. And sir, please cover up or you'll get a cold. In conclusion, the summary. It's been such a long time since I felt this way towards a game. I finished the majority of the game in one sitting, and I just felt incomplete afterwards. Like, the game is so good, but it finished too soon. Some people might be unsatisfied with some endings in Homicipher that ends abruptly. The game overall can feel a bit short, as there isn't much information about the characters, or more information about the world. But even so, this game still managed to haunt me for days, like I could not keep thinking about it. Like, I was losing sleep, looking for fan arts to satiate my needs for more Homicipher content. Because of the fakenesses, okay, I think that's why theories and discussions about the games are so interesting. There's no right or wrong interpretation of the characters, and what you think of them is true to some degree. Basically, just play the game, it's awesome, very unique, and I hope to see more games like this in the future. If you like Homicipher, there's a lot of games that you might also enjoy that I really recommend as well. Like dating ghosts? Why not try dating pigeons? Hadofu Boyfriend is a fun dating simulator. This game might be inappropriate for children. Why? Something's not right. Do you like the horror aspect of Homicipher? Spirit Hunter is an awesome, underrated horror game. The art is phenomenal, and it's a very engaging game where you have to take in clues to help your survival against ghosts trying to hurt you. If you like exploring places and meeting new interesting monsters, then you'll find more of them in Undertale and Deltarune. Thanks for watching. I usually don't make videos like this, and what I upload is quite random. Animation, crafts, fan arts, game dev, gameplay, vlogs, tier list. Basically, don't subscribe. I definitely can't meet your expectations. But it would be nice if you do leave a comment about Homicipher, why you like it, who's your favorite character. Like, I want to talk about it more. Okay, end of the video, bye!